Holy smokes. We did it. We got RFK Jr. back in the White House. We have officially elected Trump to be the 47th president of the United States of America. This is insane. RFK Jr. a couple days ago said that President Trump would win, not only would win, but would win in a landslide. And I got to tell you, I had some reservations. I had some concerns. I'm like, no, 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 no. The machine is too strong. Kamala Harris has too much support. But guys, we are 100% crossing 300 in electoral college votes. People are estimating that he's going to end with 312. That is insane, effectively making this a historic landslide. And I don't know if you ask me, I believe RFK Jr. had such a drastic, astronomical impact on this election. It's insane. So a couple things I want to go into in this video. One, I want to just celebrate this moment, but also talk about like what RFK Jr. is actually planning on doing in his first couple days, how he's specifically going to be making America healthy again. Also, perspective from Joe Rogan that I think is incredibly important. We're going to touch on the Dream Team a little bit, as well as RFK Jr. himself was saying, pack your bags like a gangster, because I think it's great, as well as people who are just not like, this isn't just Joe Rogan and these popular people. These are just like normal people who are completely for Kennedy, as he's talking about, like his actual position on vaccine, not the position that was fabricated by the mainstream media, but his actual position. And all this is just so, so important, as well as other people's ideas as to why they trust him, why he's not just all talk. And finally, we're going to end off here as to one of probably the more important things that Kennedy's going to do very early on. But I love not just what he's going to do, but how he's going to do, because how he's going to do it, because I think he's just such an articulate speaker, and he's never going to try to force his position on anyone, but he's going to try to just give people the most amount of information so they can make an informed decision. And I just think this is how he's actually going to be. This is his leadership style. This is what he's going to do. So I just love it. Okay, so let's get into it. Also, one quick thing: if you like to consume your content, if you like to get your information here, please consider liking and subscribing. It really does help me out. Makes me so excited. And let me try something. Did that work? All right, I should have turned. There it is. I turned on a little tinker that says "Follow me on X and Instagram." So cool. Yeah, I just figured out how to do that. I'm really excited about it. So first of all, I just wanted to say huge congratulations to the people who were supporting Kennedy, people who were, people contributed to his campaign, the people who were part of this movement, the people who were, libertarians, independents, Democrats, and Republicans, who just all kind of got together in this circle to support all of and to push all their energy towards Kennedy. And then whenever Kennedy started pushing his support to Trump, they ended up supporting Trump, because guys, I think it made such a crazy difference. I don't yes, this map is very, very red, but a lot of it is like Kamala didn't just, yes, she lost, but not by a lot in a lot of places. And this is what I want to get to. Like, just as an example, just as a quick example, like let's look at Wisconsin. Wisconsin is kind of crazy. And R. Kennedy Jr. was actually on the ballot here. And look at this. In Wisconsin, if you look at the votes that have been counted so far, like Trump has 1,697,000 votes. Right. Kamala Harris has 1,667,000 votes. That means the difference here is 30,000 votes. Why does that matter? Well, because if you look at third-party candidates like Robert Kennedy Jr. and Jill Stein, Kennedy has 17.6. Stein has 12. They're different. The third-party vote was between these two candidates was 30,000 votes. So let's say if Kennedy, never drops out of the race and he just started taking all the votes from Trump, and the difference would have been at least 30,000 votes. Like it would have been way more. Of course, it would have been probably like past 100,000 or maybe a couple. But here's my point: Kamala Harris would have won here, and I think that would have been true in a lot of other states aside from Wisconsin. I'm just picking Wisconsin just because I feel like it's kind of the easy target. But my point is, if that happened in enough states, Trump doesn't become president and RFK Jr. doesn't make it in Washington, D.C. That's why for the past couple of months, we saw RFK Jr. say, it doesn't matter what state you're in. If you want to see me in the White House, vote Trump. And this was so crazy how RFK Jr.'s support, I believe, actually did hand him the election. You know what I saw the other day too? I saw this from End Tribalism in Politics. They said, if Trump wins tonight, RFK Jr.'s endorsement will go down as one of the most impactful, if not the most impactful endorsements in American history. I completely agree. And you want to know why this happened? Truly, I believe because the new Republican Party is actually it's not just, these conservative values. It's about the values that are not being represented and uplifted in the current Democratic Party. That's why you're seeing so many libertarians come to the Republican Party. That's why you're seeing independents fall in that direction. That's why, like, this is just so crazy. That's why whenever I look at these, like, let me see if I can find this picture real quick. Where is it? That's why whenever I see these, like the dream team, I just feel so grateful for RF Kennedy Jr. because I honestly don't believe this happens without RF Kennedy Jr. And RK, his intention with his presidential campaign was to to completely demolish the two-party system. That's what he wanted to do, right? And if you ask me, there's kind of two senses of victory here. For one, like, did he completely demolish the two-party system? Is he the first independent president of the United States? Maybe second if you count George Washington. No, he's not. But at the core frequency of his campaign was healing the divide. And that's what I want to say. Did he do that? Did he heal the divide? If you ask me, I'm going to say yes. I think he actually created an environment and an atmosphere that's contributing to healing the divide, because you're seeing so many people from different walks of life, worldviews, and different perspectives all line up essentially directly behind Trump and in this formation of this new Republican Party. And I don't think that happens without this moment, without RFK Jr., just suppressing his own campaign and putting all of his support back to Trump. And I just think this is so incredibly profound, and I'm so grateful for it. And I'm so happy to see RFK Jr. doing the thing that he was praying to do for 20 years. This is a man who has such a heart of service where he just wants to help people and he wants to make America healthy again. And I love it. So there's this awesome clip that I saw from this little short, like interview with MSNBC. I want you to take a look at this. It's so good.
You say clearing out the corruption in your terms. Would that mean clearing out the top level federal service workers that are currently at the FDA and the CDC?
In some categories, I would say.
What does that look like? Yeah,
in some categories.
I want you to pay attention to how RFK Jr. talks here, because I think how he talks to this man is how he's essentially talking to most Americans. Look at this.
Workers, there are entire departments like the nutrition departments at FDA that have to go, that are not doing their job. They're not protecting our kids. Why? We have Fruit Loops in this country that have 18 or 19 ingredients, and you go to Canada and it's got 2 or 3.
Would you eliminate any of the agencies?
To eliminate the agencies, as long as it requires congressional approval, I wouldn't be doing that. And I can get the corruption out of the agencies. This is what I've been doing for 40 years. I've sued all those agencies. I have a PhD in corporate corruption, and that's what I do. And once they're not corrupt, once Americans are getting good science and are allowed to make their own choices, they're going to get a lot healthier.
See what you mean? See what he's saying? All he wants to do is to give people good information, good science, so they can make informed decisions. There's also this other moment it's this other clip. Check this out. Here they talk specifically about fluoride, but I love RFK Jr.'s posture here and just how he talks to this man. It is so good.
He's also talked about fluoride in the U.S. water supply. You would seek to ban fluoride in the U.S. water supply?
Well, I would advise the water districts that are currently using it that there's a lot of new science out there. And in fact, there's a federal judge decision by an Obama-appointed judge on October 4th of this year, in which he's just sent EPA back to the drawing board and said, "You've never done the safety studies on this. And by the way,"
And so what does that look like without debating, without knowing, without going back and forth on the
by the
science?
way,
It shows
All right, so look at this. You're seeing the reporter. They want to pigeonhole him into an answer. They want to put him in a box. They want to put him in the corner to say something that he probably shouldn't have said to make Trump look bad. That's what this guy is trying to do. And to look at this master class of communication, as well as just controlling this guy's temper here.
it's lowering IQ in our children.
what would you
It's
upon
called
January
lung
2025,
cancer.
we're 3 months away here. What would you actually do in
I
your
think
position inside
fluoride
of the
is
White
on
House?
its way out.
And how do you
no matter
make
what.
that happen? This is your chance.
No,
That's what you're suggesting to me.
Yeah.
How would you make that
Well,
happen?
listen to what I'm saying, okay, and then I'll tell you.
Okay.
He literally tells this man, listen to what I'm saying, and I'll tell you. Because this guy is trying to agitate him, to provoke him into saying, into making him look bad, because this is what mainstream media does. And RFK Jr. is so well postured, and he's like, just actually listen to what I'm saying here, and you'll know.
I think Florida is on the way out because of that court decision. I think the faster that it goes out, the better. I'm not going to compel anybody to take it out, but I'm going to advise the water districts about their legal liability, their legal obligation to their service zones and to their constituents. And I'm going to give them good information about the science. And I think that fluoride will disappear.
See, he's not going to force anybody. He's not going to impose what he believes on hundreds of millions of people. But what he's going to do is he's going to give people good science, good information, and then he's going to allow these communities to make their own choices for them. I don't know about you, but this is what I want. This sounds good to me. The fact that there is a ceiling that is leaking onto so many people, and it's actually having a significant effect on normal people's lives, and a profound effect on these communities. But people actually aren't talking about solutions, except RF Kennedy Jr. This is good. This is good, and I actually think this is what we're going to see throughout the second term of President Trump. And I guess the conversation right now is fluoride, but already we're talking about getting these harmful chemicals out of breakfast foods, or also these other nasty food colorings that just exist throughout our normal consumption. Like, this is what he's trying to do. This is how he's going to make America healthy again. And I love how Robert Kennedy Jr. posted this tweet yesterday. It already has several million views. Oh my goodness. He said, President Trump has asked me to do three things. Three things, so simple. One, clean up the corruption in our government health agencies. Sounds good. Two, return those agencies to their rich tradition of gold standard, evidence-based science. Trust the science, right? That's what the left was chanting 4 years ago. Surely no one's going to get any pushback from here, right? Surely people are going to love this idea to trust the science. Sounds great. And finally, make America healthy again by ending the chronic disease epidemic. This is what people voted for. This is why so many people voted for President Trump, because they knew that Kennedy Jr. would actually be in a position of power and influence that would make America healthy again, as well as all these other people. They voted for Trump because they want to see Elon Musk actually go ahead and create some sort of efficiency throughout the government, because they know that so many people are feeling taken advantage of. This is why Trump won the popular vote, because people wanted this team. And I love it. And Joe Rogan even talks about this on his recent podcast. Check this out. It is so good.
You're a loser. Rosie O'Donnell's a loser. Like, that's his whole shtick. And you expect him to course correct once he gets into office? No, he's not. That's not who he is. You elected that guy. But along with that, now you get RFK Jr., you get Tulsi Gabbard, you get Elon Musk, and you get JD Vance. You get brilliant people who aren't ideologically captured. Two of them who used to be Democrats. One of them that probably knows more about environmental polluting and about the problems with pharmaceutical drug companies and health and the consequences of all sorts of pesticides and herbicides, ingredients in your food that should be banned and are banned in other countries. You got that guy in there now.
Yep.
And we got a real chance to make real change. This is like one of the first times ever where this.
Come on. Doesn't this get you so pumped? This is probably one of the most exciting things ever. And I love that, like, RFK Jr., he's taking this so seriously. Like, I saw this post where RFK Jr. He just says FDA's war on public health is about to end. And he lists off a bunch of is it chemicals and other things that he's saying like they can't be patented by pharma. And he has a message to the people who work at the FDA. And this is so gangster, I'm telling you. He says, if you work for the FDA and are part of this corrupt system. See, I love how he's saying, like, if you work for the FDA, like, he's not saying everyone who works at the FDA is, bad and you're all going to get fired. No, but he's saying if you work for the FDA and are part of this corrupt system, I have two messages for you. One, preserve your records. And two, pack your bags. I don't know about you, but that puts a big smile on my face because, again, so many people want this. So many people are sick, genuinely sick, but they're also sick of being lied to. They are sick of the corruption. They are sick of the manipulation. They are sick of not being able to trust their government. They're sick of the lack of science and due diligence that exists in the top universities. It's so sad, and I love that Camus here on Twitter. This person has over 250,000 followers on X, and they wrote, "This is key," and they have this post from RFK Jr. whenever he's sitting with Tucker Carlson. And I just love this perspective as he talks about vaccines here. Check this out. Because again, the media has painted him with a broad brush, calling him an anti-vaxxer, and it's just like not true. So if you're someone who's ever thought about that and aligning it with RFK Jr., just watch this real quick.
Now, I just want to make this clear. I don't want to take vaccines away from people.
Well, right.
I don't want to impose my choices on the American
I
public.
understand.
If vaccines are working for you, you ought to be able to get them. And I'll make sure that happens. But people
see, look at that already. That's that one single sentence right now. And I'll make sure that happens. I'll make sure you have that right. If you want to take it, I'm going to make sure no one's going to stop you. All right? See, look at that.
should have informed choice. So they should have good science that tells them the costs and benefits of these products, and particularly since they're being ordered to use them. 76 million kids a year are required to use them, and they're healthy children. So it's the only medical product that's given to healthy people. You want a product like that to be extra solid to make sure there's no risk, because you can take, there's certain risks that you'll take if you're sick to get better.
Of course.
But if you're not sick, and you shouldn't be required to take a product.
And people have been talking about this for so long. Like, I used to work in a beautiful school district. It was awesome. But I kept hearing like, oh yeah, if you want your kid to be here, they need to take, this list of vaccines. It's required. And it's like, required? Why? It almost doesn't make sense. And I love how RFK Jr. is saying, like, if you want to take it, you can. But the fact that it's being imposed on healthy children, that's a problem. And the fact that it's not only being imposed or required, but the fact that these vaccines aren't, completely foolproof. And the fact that most people don't understand the risks whenever they are being part of it. Again, like this is a sensitive topic for a lot of people, because just 4 years ago, in 2020, everyone was being required to take it. Like if I remember at where I worked, if you didn't want to get the vaccine, then it wasn't required. But if you didn't want it, then you'd have to take the test every single week. And now it puts you in this really weird category of like it's not required, but it puts such a profound uh, it puts a profound like disgust in your week, and it's just so much friction to the point where you actually just give in because it's easier to take a vaccine than it is to go through the hassle of getting tested every single week until when indefinitely, right? And it's so crazy, like there's so much corruption here, and the fact that more that people just aren't talking about it except now, except now that we have RFK actually sitting on the throne on top of the seat. Like, this is great. This is great. This is why people love him. This is why people trust him. This is why normal people are saying things like this. Look at me. They're saying RFK is no joke. He's not just all talk. You know, when some people talk, sometimes you just hear yapping. Da, 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 da. You're not paying attention because like, I don't need to listen to this person. But when RFK talks, people listen. All right. Is something about him. He's got that commander aura. I got to be honest. And the person wrote a list. They say he's made some serious waves, and this is why I trust him. One, he's jacked. the first reason is because he's jacked. I agree. I wouldn't want to enter a shirtless t-shirt or a shirtless competition with him. All right, I'll be ashamed. The fact that he looks better at 70 years old than most people my age, that's crazy. Of course I want this man in charge. Are you kidding? Two, he sued companies like a General Electric to prevent them from dumping toxic PCBs into the Hudson River. He's won hundreds of millions of dollars for plaintiffs suing Monsanto over glyphosate causing cancer. His lawsuits against pharmaceutical companies have led to increased awareness around the potential dangers of vaccines. Come on. He was instrumental in the Clean Air Act, reducing mercury and toxic pollutants in the air. He sued companies for polluting river water with coal as part of the Water Keeper Alliance. He's protected indigenous lands. Come on. He's protected indigenous lands and communities. He sued the FCC to update wireless radiation guidelines. He risked his life to run for president. This is so important. He risked his life to run for president despite many security bills, despite being denied Secret Service time and again. And the only time he had it for less than a month, and it was only after President Trump demanded that he had it after the assassination attempt on his life in Butler, Pennsylvania. That's crazy. That's why he lost just so much money, because he had to pay personally out of pocket. Disgusting. He sued the EPA to ban chlorpyrifos. Oh man, I completely botched that word. I'm so sorry. A very toxic pesticide. He's bringing public awareness to the danger of the 5G rollout. And he is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Look at this man. Look at this patriot. I love it. And they wrote, "Let's effing go" at RFK Jr. I don't know about you, but geez, does this make me happy? Does this make me so energized and fueled and passionate for the future that we are creating? This is insane. This is so incredible. The things that he is going to do, the lanes that he's going to go through to make America healthy again. I really believe that in 4 years, we are going to have a new and beautiful and healthy country and people. And I just can't wait to see it. And it's not just going to be RFK Jr. It's going to be this entire team, because people didn't just elect Trump. They honestly, wholeheartedly elected all of these people. Man, there's something really romantic here. I love it. Thing I want to say is I posted this tweet yesterday, and it was kind of funny. I'm just joking over here, but also not really. So, hey, Mr. Kennedy, Team Kennedy, if you're watching, let me know. I put out this tweet. I said, "Hey, Mr. Kennedy, let me know if you need any help in DC. Very willing to relocate." At Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And this is actually probably one of my more viral tweets, right? But I wrote this, and then Anna Matson, who just had an incredible run for village president in her city, and she was so close to winning. Like, honestly, she ran a great campaign. She didn't attack people. She was honest with the community that she's in, and I just have a lot of respect for her. And she fell short, but like Kamala Harris said, when we fight, we win, but I never let you know how long the fight is going to be. So I wouldn't be surprised if Anna goes and tries again, because I already think she's created a lot of impact in her community. She's opened up a lot of people's minds already, and I think that's incredible. But she responded saying, "Dream team, let's go. Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's make some waves happen. We have a future to create." That's what I responded with. And I tagged her, and I tagged RFK Kennedy Jr. "Hey, Mr. Kennedy, let me know. Let's do it. I'm ready." Anyways, that's the video. I'm pumped. I'm ready for the future. I'm happy that RFK Jr. is going to be back in Washington. I'm happy that Trump got elected with this entire dream team behind him. I saw someone say recently, saying like people didn't vote for Trump, or it was over 70 million people didn't vote for Trump. They voted for this team, and obviously I can't speak for all 70 million Americans, but a core of that, a deciding core of that, absolutely, I absolutely think that's true. Agree with me? Let me know in the comment section. And it's kind of a long video. I've been making long videos lately. I apologize. But these are all really important conversations, and I love having them with all of you. So let me know what you thought about some of these conversations in the comment section. I love how everyone just goes and continues to elevate these conversations in the comments. And I just think it's so, so great. And I love seeing people like Joe Rogan talk about this team. I love seeing RFK Jr. tell people to pack their bags, because he's trying to create such a high standard and to just restore trust back in these federal agencies. And I just think that's absolutely, absolutely great. Anyways, that's the video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section. I'm going to be watching and monitoring the comments tonight, and I'm so excited for it. Anyways, this is also season 2. This is season 2 of apparently the Adam C. Moreno show, and I'm excited for it. So here's what I want to say. What's your favorite second season of a show? All right. And I say second season because I think the first season was, the last 8 months where we kind of were following Kennedy religiously. Then we were following, Kennedy and Trump. Then we're following the Dream Team. And now I think the future is continuing to follow the Dream Team, and also to explore politics and to cover these ideas and to continue pushing these values and to have these respectful, meaningful conversations here with all of you. And I'm just excited for it. I'm ready for it. I love it. Anyways, that's the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next. Oh, and before I go, real quick, let me bring up the Tinker again. All right, make sure to follow me on X and Instagram, and I have a newsletter now. If you want to follow me, if you want to subscribe to the newsletter. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate your time so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to support what we're building here, please like and subscribe. It means a lot, and it really helps us out. And if you want to see even more content from me, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing a lot more on there. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.